To commence the proceedings and set the tone, I have the honor of inviting Mr. Chandrajeet Banerjee, Director General CII, to deliver the opening remarks.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure and honor to welcome Shri BVR Subramaniam, the CEO of NITI Aayog, amongst our midst today for a very, very important launch that's happening at this session today. The Secretary of the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Shri SCL Das, welcome to you for being here. Ms. Devjani Ghosh, the Distinguished Fellow at the NITI Aayog, the Chief Architect NITI Frontier Tech Hub. We will be shortly joined by the Chairman of AICTE, Dr. C.G. Sitharaman. For medium, micro and small enterprises, the academia partnership, which is going to be critical, the tech industry, and of course our startups. So all phenomenal crowd here, which is of great value and importance and significance for this particular session. A warm welcome. For us, it's a matter of great pride, if I may say, to welcome to you for this launch of DX Edge, as we are calling it. This is, we believe, a unique initiative to build a model for our micro, small and medium enterprises, future-proofing by enabling innovation and resilience, and pretty much in tune with Viksit Bharat for 2047. And I would like to really start by extending my deepest and my sincere appreciation and warmest congratulations to NITI Aayog for launching the Frontier Tech Hub. The center, the entire process of the project, leading to through several centers of excellence which has been created by the CII to fold in the DX Edge very strongly. I'll take one example, and there's been a center that we had created on digital transformation, and one where we were really blessed when the CII Center on Employment and Livelihood was launched by our Honorable Prime Minister middle of last year, and which will actually, the purpose of the center was to see to it how we facilitate technology enablement transformation of our micro and small enterprises. So it's going to be a center which will work with the large enterprises. We'll take the knowledge, the expertise of some of our large members who have the tech knowledge, and some of them are present here from the manufacturing side, to bring that in. So we also have in this session today some of the best mid-sized companies, small companies, and even micro enterprises here, and they will be sharing some of the case studies, which are successful case studies on digital adoption. Some of them, they keep talking about themselves to be small and medium, but they are pretty large today in the way they have grown. And the idea is to see how we can help our small and the mid-sized companies grow. It's not for them to remain small. Every year, over 25,000 odd students to be trained as frontline enablers. And these students are not only going to gain skills, then they are going to become really the catalysts of transformation. And that's where, again, we see a phenomenal role of the AICTE and Professor T.G. Sitharaman would, his support, his leadership would be greatly valued. I'd like to conclude because there are so many other areas that we would like to cover in this short session, and we have some of the phenomenal minds to speak about it. So I'd like to conclude by saying that let us work together in this huge project that we have taken on ourselves, and I'd like to express my gratitude to the CEO of NITI Aayog for giving this space, this partnership, and this leadership. Thank you very much. Now I request Ms. Devjani Ghosh for the remarks on the future-proofing of the MSMEs.
Mr. Subramaniam, Mr. Das, and my dear friends. I mean, it's so fantastic to see so many known faces and all my old friends from the industry here. Really fantastic to see it. And this is indeed a very special day for us. As the Frontier Tech Hub, this is one of the first big flagship initiatives that we are launching today, and I couldn't be happier partnering with CII to bring this, to make this real. So, you know, for us techies, all the techies in the room, I think you will agree that Feb and March is Christmas for us. This is when all the analysts start coming out with their tech trends. What's going to happen? And I'm not going to go into details, so don't get scared by the slide. But, you know, everyone talks about it. But if you look at across the tech trends today, you look at Gartner, you look at FTSG, you look at all the other big ones that have come out. There are two things that are common, that are truly standing out. The first, it pretty much is, you know, no matter which analyst report you're looking at, technologies are now cutting across every single industry. There is not a single, well, there is only one industry or one profession where the experts still don't believe robots or AI can replace the human, and that's hairstyling. That's the only one. But beyond that, pretty much every single industry, and if you see this chart, it will tell you every single industry is today being disrupted by technology. And the second one, it's no more about the future. It's happening today. If you look at the second column, which is AI, it's now. The disruption across industry is happening today, it's happening now. And the third trend that comes out from all the analyst reports is that it's going to be about the convergence of technologies more than one technology alone. That's where the magic lies. That's where we are going to see the maximum impact. And when you think about convergence, that's where frontier tech is. Because I always get asked this question, what is frontier tech? Frontier tech is the great convergence where technology meets science. Because that's where we see the biggest impact. And we at NITI have come out with this term, the AI plus era. Because we believe that this convergence, where you have AI as a horizontal, it's the groundbreaking transformational technology that pretty much runs across everything, it's the foundation. But AI will come together with bio, with physics, with chemistry, with maths to make the big difference. And this is the AI plus era that we are entering. Change. Bigger than anything. These force multipliers is what we as a country have to unlock to realize our vision of Viksit Bharat, to realize of our vision of becoming a developed nation by 2047. And that is the charter of NITI's Frontier Tech Hub, to become Viksit Bharat. But there are challenges. Now we know that digital transformation is going to be the key to unlock the full potential of MSMEs. This is what's going to transform the MSME sector to become the true engine of growth for Viksit Bharat. But there are hard hurdles that we have to overcome. Today, nearly 90% or over 90% of MSMEs acknowledge that AI is important. They get it. So the awareness is there. They absolutely get it. But more than 60% do not know how to use it, do not know what the technologies are, do not know what kind of skills are required, do not know where the budget will come from. So this awareness gap, the how, the knowledge to how do I use this technology? I know this technology is important for me, and I think all MSME programs or education programs should stop preaching to the choir and telling MSMEs AI is important for you. Everyone gets that.
Distinguished guests, delegates and dignitaries, it's such a pleasure to be here and such an honor. I'm just going to twist the definition of frontier tech, sorry ma'am, for a little bit because we are from the frontier. And we deploy tech in the frontier. So of course I'm talking about and I'm speaking about Nagaland, and in one of the areas that we work in, Kifri, one of our aspirational districts. So we've been working there for a couple of years now, deploying digital education solutions in these remote areas. So for those who have not been and have not had the pleasure to come through, I'll describe it for you. You'll catch a flight from Delhi. You'll land in Dimapur. It's a small airport for those who've been. You'll take a 10-hour ride to the town capital. And then from there, you'll swap into a 4x4 to reach some of the villages that we're working in. And I have the pleasure to be there. And from the ridges of the hilltops, you're looking over Myanmar. And so that's what we call frontier tech. So these, while being there and crossing across these regions, I've had the pleasure to speak to the district administration, the students, the teachers, and the community. And we've spoken to thousands of them, we've surveyed them, we've continued to speak to them. And what we find is that there is an embrace of digital learning. Students here, although they're not in the cities, have as close aspirations as anywhere else. They want to be doctors, they want to work in government administration, they want to be business people. And they know that education is a great emancipator. And they are also aware that technology can get them there. But unfortunately, of course, in our far-flung regions, we have these barriers. One of them is, of course, the connectivity. I'll speak to that. Secondly is the teachers. What we're asking teachers to do on the National Education Policy is to teach in a way that they've never experienced. So for most of our teachers in our state, 50% are qualified, are underqualified, or not qualified at all, right? And most teachers have come through a system of rote. And they've been teaching rote for decades. And now we're asking them to move up Bloom's taxonomy and teach in an experience that they themselves have never experienced. So those, again, are some of the barriers. Despite these barriers, the community is enthusiastic. The community wants technology to come in. They want to utilize it. They want to leverage it to emancipate themselves. One other thing that we found is that blended is the way. So when we go into the schools, we look at blended teaching. How do we integrate technology into the classroom rather than a replacement? I think we began this project, we started by listening. We started with a process of generative listening. This means that listening to the community members, listening to their challenges and their aspirations, but through that process, working with them to help generate a new possibility for themselves that they didn't see before. This really adds to the enthusiasm and the sustainability of the program. That within
sound very uncommon to my customers, like if we dealing with OEMs, and the level of adoption of digital transformation in the micro level industry is something like they encourage us. So while moving further, digital transformation, as the word suggests, transformation means like how we are going through the traditional businesses will not going to work in future in any case. So I say it as a small business passport for big leagues. As a micro enterprise, we were facing challenges. Though we wanted to supply to OEMs, big customers, we were facing challenges like the lengthy audits. It was taking even 2 days to meeting their checkpoints, draining our team, limited efforts, perception, the most, the problem, what we were seeing as a small business, as a micro business, we were seen as just as a part suppliers. We were never being a solution partner to our customers. We were fighting for the prices. The the whole scenario was like being a part supplier. Paper-based documentation with limited team. Because as a micro enterprise, when you have a team of 2 or 3 people only in your staff, you do have a product, you do have a quality, you do have a system, but all these were documented. Limited visibility into the machine and its performance, its output, its optimization, difficulty meeting OEM compliance requirements with a small team. So the whole mind shift started in year 2022, and I would like to thank my mentor Rajiv Chawla ji for guiding me through this process. So in year 2022, we started analyzing, being a small micro level business, how we can change the perception of our customers, how our customer can see us as a solution partner, not just a part supplier. I mean, the micro segment, small segment suppliers sitting here would relate with me that supplying to big OEMs, their system suppliers, need a lot of system, lot of compliances, because they need a supplier. They don't want through supplier their line will stop.
कहते हैं जो डर फैला हुआ है AI का और टेक्नोलॉजी का, so we are here to move with it, live with it. So while I joined the business 7-8 years down the line, I always heard that technology would be replacing entrepreneurs. But we at Jairaj, we believe that entrepreneurs who use technology will replace those entrepreneurs who do not use technologies. So I think that is something very, very basic that we followed, and few steps that we've taken in the past 5-6 years towards digitalization, which I'll take you through. So we are in the auto component manufacturing industry. We manufacture plastic auto components for the automobile sector. The most important new product development, I think, which is the backbone of any business, of any growth. So we digitalize the whole process. So the typical, the past era, while an RFQ comes in from a customer, so everything was being done manually. RFQ comes in, and there are about 7-8 engineers at every step who log onto the computer from the RFQ stage till the PPAPs and everything. So we digitalized the complete NPD process. So it was an 18-19 step NPD development process that we digitalized from starting the RFQs till the SOP stage. Everything is computerized. Even if after 10 years, for example, the OEM or for example any Maruti comes up to us and says that okay, give us the last drawing or the last ECM. So we have it on our fingertips in one record. It is right there on the NPD software.
Small and medium enterprises, or MSMEs, form the backbone of India's economy. They contribute over 30% of the country's GDP, account for nearly half of its manufacturing output, and drive 46% of exports. They are also the second largest employer in the country, providing livelihoods across villages, towns and cities. As India advances towards its vision of Viksit Bharat 2047, the role of MSMEs will become even more crucial. By embracing digital tools, MSMEs can scale faster, operate more efficiently, reach wider markets, and innovate like never before. Digital transformation is not just a growth strategy, it's a growth multiplier. To support MSMEs in adopting future technologies, Confederation of Indian Industry, supported by NITI Frontier Tech Hub and All India Council for Technical Education,
of such an innovative program that is going to be such a help to all of us.
DXED would enable academia and students to engage with real industry transformation.
Very excited to be part of this program, DXED. It also promotes industry-academia collaboration. We are also involved in doing industry projects, consultancy projects, and also product development.
respected CEO NITI Aayog, Chairman AICTE, DG CII, Madam Ghosh, all distinguished guests. Thank you so very much for having me at this very significant event. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate our 4 very promising and inspiring young entrepreneurs for their wonderful and inspirational talk. Really very happy to see your success journey and really wish you all the very best for continued success in the future. I want to especially congratulate the CII and the NITI Aayog partnership in launching this DX Edge. This, to my mind, is a very significant and a very novel step in the right direction. It is basically designed just the right way. It is not a PPP, it is a public, private and academia partnership, a PPAP. And that's what is going to potentially make it work. It's so very much required here than elsewhere. So wherever we have this in MSME sector, as in the industry sector in general, this trimurti of the public organizations, the industry and the academia coming together in the right way, it is bound to succeed. So I think this particular design novelty, which is in my mind also a design necessity, is going to be the key to the success of this very novel and well-timed venture. And as was already highlighted, frontier tech and digitalization is no longer an option, it is a necessity. And our 4 young entrepreneurs have, through their own experience and through their own successes, amply demonstrated that. But to be able to move in that direction, what could the government policy do? The government policy clearly can provide some of the enablers. And consistently over the last few years, you can see through various policy pronouncements and the budget announcements that these enablers are consistently flowing from the policy domain in line with the national vision of Viksit Bharat as espoused by the Honorable Prime Minister. In this budget alone, if you see, just to cite a couple of illustrations, the revised classification scheme, the enhanced credit flow mechanisms and the entitlements, and the national manufacturing mission, I would cite these 3 examples before this August forum to illustrate the point that enablers are very much there. So what this very eminently designed, well-designed DX Edge potentially can provide is both the pull factors and the push factors. Pull factors are needed, they are not too much available in the government agencies because they are day-to-day busy in programs and operations. Even in the industry, business as usual, there is a lot of business as usual, so there is not too much of thinking what lies in future, how to move towards the future. So you require a platform like this with a roadmap which looks ahead and which clearly brings home the point that technology, if we are to really survive and grow the kind of growth trajectory we have, it is a necessity. And for at least 3 major reasons. One is pure existential. Because technology says there's so much of disruption through technology that only to survive you still need to adapt, adopt. Second is global, the global business environment, the headwinds we are seeing, the emerging challenges. So to remain afloat globally, you need those frontier technologies, you need to digitalize. And most important, because of our own very closely held, cherished goal of Viksit Bharat, for our own domestic growth trajectory, we need that. So with all this, a blueprint is very important. At the same time, we need those platforms, those instruments through which this can be delivered. So I think DX Edge would provide that model which through its public, private and academia partnership can show the way in which
we can replicate and scale these efforts, because as was aptly highlighted, MSMEs have to be at the center of the journey. Whether it is for domestic growth, whether it is for growth of export, whether it is for adaptability for climate change, for having the required resilience in our overall economy and technological growth, we MSMEs have to be there across. However, as we all know, MSMEs is a nomenclature. It is not a sector. It is not a particular kind of entity. It is a particular nomenclature. So, for MSMEs, we need a very differentiated approach. And while we have about 6 crore plus, 60 million plus digitally registered micro, small and medium enterprises, out of these, just about 8 lakhs, 0.8 million are small, and less than 700,000, less than 100,000, just about 70,000 are medium. However, it's not about numbers, it's about the differential capability, the levels of digital maturity, the level of debt, the exposure to debt, the capability to adopt technology. This is what is required. So we need a very differentiated approach. At this forum, when we talk, I would invite your attention and request you to focus more on the SME segment. For a simple reason that, as I said, our country needs both pull and push factors. Pull factors are those which will really take the technology forward, and I think SMEs have that capability to provide the pull factors. Government can provide the push factors by adopting a more universalized digitalization program, which can kind of get across to all sections of the MSMEs, particularly the micros. That push factor, that broad enabler, the minimum level programs, that readiness, the basic readiness can be provided through more appropriately through public funded programs, which should certainly be done. We are working on that. And we are being supported by NITI Aayog in terms of preparing the digitalization roadmap. And Madam Ghosh is also helping us. We hope to come out with that roadmap very soon. But coming back to the central point of technology-led growth, technology-enabled growth, we need to focus in a very well thought out, differentiated manner on the small sector, particularly because if you have noticed strategically, the new classification scheme gives the small a big headroom, and it was deliberately done to provide you that necessary stimulus and growth space for exports, for adopting new technology, for going more high tech. So that is where the digital maturity is, and the appetite of growth is, and the credit environment, the financing environment from lending to equity is also being strengthened. And similarly, a different kind of a more enabled approach, probably more rooted in the industry and academia, less in the government, but certainly enabled in an appropriately is required for the medium sector. And so that we don't lose out on the totality of the MSME ecosystem, the large, huge base of more than 5.5 crores of micros, we need to generally uplift their standards in terms of basic digitization, taking them forward towards digitalization, and among them, create those upward mobility in technological terms, in skill terms, and in financial business growth terms, so that more and more can come into the level of small industries, and from there graduate to medium and thereafter the large. So that is broadly the policy framework which we think looking at the big picture should work. But as we speak at this forum, I think we need to move ahead with what has been unveiled today. It's a very potent force multiplier, I think is the right term for that. And it is not something, as has been said, of future, but it is about today, which will really inform about our tomorrow. We need to leverage technology to really take the MSME sector in general and SMEs in particular fast forward because technology, if there's any exponential growth factor, it is technology. And that is, I think we have taken an important step in that direction. And I would like to again compliment this wonderful partnership, the Trimurti of public-private and academia partnership, and especially compliment the drivers, the CEO NITI, the CII, who have been behind this. And I would like to express my fond hope for all our young entrepreneurs. God bless their efforts and let them be powered more and more with this technology, with this enablement. Thank you very much.
Very happy to be part of this launch of DX Edge, transforming MSMEs through frontier tech. First of all, let me thank the dignitaries in the dais and off the dais, and in particular, Sri B.V.R. Subramaniam, CEO NITI Aayog, S.C.L. Das, Secretary, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Ms. Devjani Ghosh, and Chandrajit Banerjee. AICTE actually is a regulator. Today, we ourselves call ourselves as a facilitator. So we started thinking about connecting MSMEs to engineering and diploma institutions about 2-3 months back. And we started a portal called Talent Hunt for MSMEs. So we have about 7,000 MSMEs on that, SMEs actually on that. And we started with that journey when Ms. Devjani Ghosh requested me, immediately jumped on to this wagon so that we could do transformative, because large number of our students are there who are looking for some work, some job, internship and other things. And there are a large number of SMEs and MSMEs. So this is a win-win situation for both of us. So I immediately jumped on to this opportunity. So as the head of the technical education ecosystem in India, strongly believe that MSMEs are the backbone of our nation's economic growth and development, and it is a golden opportunity for all the young engineers and professionals, particularly the management professionals who are with AICTE institutions, will be benefited by this, and also the same way other way.